So let's quickly review what we're talking about when we talk about mission and vision statements. A mission statement is primarily the statement of who you are. It's your jurisdiction. It's the organizational statement of this is our job. It's your job description. It's basically the Constitution. We are in business to make cameras and make them at a low cost and distribute them to this type of market. We don't go big. We don't go small. This is what we do. Nordstrom's, for example, was a company that focused on customer intimacy. We're focused on making high-end clothes for a certain kind of market, for a market that we want repeat business that appreciates quality. We're not interested in low cost. We're interested in quality and a certain kind of customer. That's their focus. That's their mission. That's what they do. Where companies get in trouble is when they begin getting outside their mission, and they often do. Every good organization gets asked to do something besides what it's doing. I cannot tell you the tons and tons of organizations that I've dealt with that when you begin the planning process and you look at their activities and you look at their mission statement, their activities far exceed their mission statement. In the years I worked for DEA, because it was Drug Enforcement Administration, people were talking about the need for education programs. And DEA, of course, wanted to get money from the Hill and public support, and over time began adapting demand reduction and education programs into its core operational entities. And bureaucracies being what they were, at a certain point in time, it began diminishing the operational and investigative effort that could be put into the field offices and into the program, which was the core mission of DEA. And I'm sure you can think of thousands and thousands of examples in which, because you are good, people ask your organization to do something other than what your core mission is, and you accept it without making the adjustment in resource base, without making the adjustment in offsetting other activities. You just take it as an add-on, and it becomes what we call mission creep. And in the government, it becomes a dilution of your energy and focus, and oftentimes doing a good job on things that you're not being held accountable for. In the private sector, it's an incredible drain on resources and resource utilization. In either sense, it is required to come together in a mission statement renewal or revival at the beginning of a planning process that sets clear on those core things that reflect your mission. So it should answer the who we are, the what we do, the why we do it, and the who we do it for, with the stakeholders and the type of customers that we have. And once a mission statement focuses on those four things, it's a grounded mission statement that sets the parameters of the planning process. Now, once you have that done, and it is not oftentimes a lot of heavy lifting, it's just a matter of stating the obvious, but having that as a vehicle by which you can begin scanning your environment to see the extent to which your activity is within or without your mission statement. Then you switch to what we're going to do in this planning process, which basically raises the question, with this mission statement, and these being our responsibilities, what will we accomplish over the next 5 years? That becomes the big change from the management of the organization, what we're responsible for, to the leadership role, which basically the assertion comes in which the commander or the leader says, what will we accomplish? I often use the word strategic direction instead of vision, because vision has a sort of soft connotation, and this is not a soft process. The military has added to that by using the word commander's intent when they refer to the function of a vision statement. It's really supposed to answer that question of what, going forward, communicating to the workforce and the stakeholders, what should we expect to see? Because that then sets the parameters for the development of objectives and strategies and measures of success, all based on what the intent of the leader was in beginning the planning process. And so, again, a nice clear vision statement that, like Iacocca's Recapture the Middle Class, is helpful. I find it also helpful to identify why you're having problems doing that, because part of what strategies are the development of initiatives that overcome the objectives and the long-standing problems. And it's very helpful in a mission statement to allude to the change that's going to happen in the organization, because every plan is about change. So a vision statement that does not talk about the change that will occur, in my view, is not a useful vision statement, because you're communicating to the organization what the plan is going to be. It's my vision. We're going to do these wonderful things. We're going to recapture the middle class, and it's going to require a significant change on the way we're currently doing business. That's an important front-end message to everybody. It begins to talk at that point in time lightly about the problems and the obstacles that you're going to confront in dealing with change. When I did the counterintelligence and counterterrorism strategies for the FBI, the immediate obstacle in trying to go from a reactive to a proactive administration was the cultural change, the cultural obstacles that were going to make things like information sharing and collaboration difficult. Capture those in a vision statement. What are we likely to face that will cause us difficulties? Because we're going to be developing strategies to address them. And therefore, the ultimate deliverable of a mission statement is a broad statement that deals with the nature and the scope. Remember those words, the nature and the scope of the change that the organization is likely to experience in meeting its mission responsibilities over the next several years. That's the core of a mission statement. It conveys the nature and the scope of the change, and with it suggests the performance expectations on the workforce and the results that you expect to see. Now, it's not a definitive document. Believe it or not, they can still be done within a page, less than a page. But it's more than a few lines the way to be useful. And I urge you to give some thought to developing the mission statements in your assignment for your project that is going to utilize these attributes. Now, let me say that what I just told you is correct. It's been proven to be been shown as very effective when applied to strategic planning. But public administration and business management is a funny field because there are very few absolutes and very few rules across the board. And you will see mission statements and vision statements in all shapes and sizes, and there's no authoritative entity to correct them. It's more a matter of each organization, each individual, determining what it needs for its organization to be successful. Some organizations like a lot of paper. Some like almost nothing. Some like to convey their thoughts in simple words and sentences. Some want to be sure that they convey them with a language that reflects a high level intellectual capacity of the organization. It's all a function of the art versus science. However, what I'm going to be telling you is focusing on the effectiveness of a plan. So as you look through various mission statements in your organization, you're going to see all kinds of different things. But look for those elements that I've talked about, that the mission statement is a statement of your jurisdiction and your responsibilities, and the vision statement is a statement of the expectations of the organization and the nature and the scope of the change that will accompany the strategic plan. I've given you in the course content some sample mission statements and vision statements that I just pulled randomly off the internet, along with a little write-up that conveys what I've just indicated here. Take a look at them and you'll see the vast difference, but take a look at them critically, because if you leave this class armed with what I've told you, you will be way along the way to having a successful planning process in any environment that you're in. And I can almost assure you that if you were to apply these standards to the various mission statements and vision statements that I've given you, about 6 or 7 of them, in this sample document, and others that you have, your own organization, as I've asked you to in the forum, or organizations that you are familiar with, you'll see that they would dramatically improve the focus and the planning effort. So we'll continue the discussion. Take a look at this. I'll see you in the forum. Thanks a lot. Good morning. And don't hurt your back in the snow.